Good afternoon and welcome to our softball preseason show. I am joined today by head coach of Wapsie Valley softball, Austin Jeans, along with some players. We have Sawyer Buhr, Buhr and Maddie Ladeburg here today. How are you guys?
Good.
Great. Pretty good. Getting back into the season, I'm super excited.
There you go. So, how far are you guys out from game number 1 of the year? You know, I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday, right?
Yeah, our first game is Tuesday, but we have a scrimmage just against each other Monday. But our first game is against West Central. Pretty excited.
So, West Central, coming into the year, I got to ask, what are some kind of, as you look, because we have the schedule right here in front of us, what are some games that you kind of circle on your calendar earlier in the year that you're looking forward to as we go across the season?
I mean, I think really putting an emphasis on our conference games. Last year we had, obviously a really good season, but conference-wise we felt like we could have gotten a handful of more wins. Just Jessup, Hudson right away. Those will be two tough ones. Sumner, Fredericksburg, Chipola. We definitely have that game circled. We want to get a few wins against Sumner this year, so that for sure.
So, just a quick recap of last season. You guys finished off 22-8, 5-7 in the NICL East Conference. You guys placed third. You had an undefeated non-conference regular season record. You had 2 tournament wins at Jessup and Central. You also had wins over ranked teams in Class 3A. You had a win over 10th-ranked Center Point Urbana. In Class 2A, you had a win over 8th-ranked Cascade. Also in 2A, you had a win over 3rd-ranked Lisbon, and then you had a 2A 14th-ranked South Hardin win. And as you went into the postseason, first round was a bye. You didn't have anybody there. Second round, you beat Denver 14-4, and then the regional semifinal, the heartbreaker against Southwind, 4-5. You can go back and watch it. You're just not going to see the ending. If you didn't know, our internet took a big crap that day, and we missed the entire last 2 outs of that last inning. We were so heartbroken. Riker and I were sitting up in the booth. We were like, oh no, we just missed the entire ending of the game. We had to come back later on. But I know I don't see South Winneshiek on the schedule this year, so hopefully you guys see them in the postseason again, and you guys will get your revenge.
I think we did schedule. Yeah.
Yeah.
We scheduled our revenge game. Don't worry. We scheduled our revenge game. There you go. No worries.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
Yep.
So, coming back from last year, you lose 3 seniors. You lose Sydney Mathias, Ellie Voy, and Delaney Youngblood. Sydney Mathias was a kind of a lock at third, basically the entire year, along with Ellie Voy, one of your best power hitters. And all across that season, I remember you telling me all the time, you were telling Ellie just to focus on hitting the ball, and the homers would come. And they came at the most important time, in about the 5th inning of that Southwind game. Taylor, you also had one in that game about the 3rd inning as well. So losing those 3 seniors, how does that kind of impact your team coming into this year?
It's always hard when you lose people like that, but and they were good leaders. They kept everyone going, and it's hard, but I have full trust in the seniors we have coming in this year. We got Reagan Barnes back from injury. We didn't have her last year, and then some of our younger girls are ready to step up and take the mantle. So. I feel like we're just reloading this year. We have a lot of players coming back, and we have some good players coming in. So I feel pretty good. We're gonna miss Sydney and Ellie and Delaney.
There you go.
They were great people. They were fun to be around, and they made softball fun. So that's you miss more than just their skills on the softball field. So. You can't replace anyone. You can only use what you still have and find a way to make that keep working.
So, speaking of you 3, as you guys are on the kind of the younger side of this roster coming into this year, how have you guys kind of looked up to the seniors or the seniors this year or even the juniors from this year? How have they kind of helped you along this way to be kind of where you guys are at currently?
I think the seniors have really helped me just always being positive about everything I do. They make me want to come to practices, and they make me just enjoy everything so much better because of the energy they bring.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like they didn't really ever like look down on us. They always like if something happened, we made a mistake,
they expected the best from us.
and they just like picked us back up, knew that we could get it again. So
yeah, seniors are always there to help. Like almost every practice, they're always there and just helping like my grade, 8th grade.
So, coming into this year, one of the big changes, you guys got lights now. It means you guys play night games, you guys start hosting more playoff games, stuff like that. I know when we first brought in the lights, that was an immediate morale boost for all of us on our baseball team because the fact of playing at 7 p.m. under lights in the dark is the coolest feeling in the world. So I wonder how you guys kind of feel about that coming into this year.
I will say that one of the first things, I can't remember who said it, but they said we had to have a midnight practice.
yes,
I think that would be fun.
We need to get one of those.
That would be interesting. But no, we are so excited to have the lights, and I know there were some people who liked getting done with games early, but night games are just different. You know, they're different in such a good way. You know, there's nothing like the left fielder and the center fielder not having the sun in their eyes the entire game. So I know that they really appreciate it.
Yeah. I know Blake feels the same way. Blake Hesse's our third baseman. He always has to look into the lights when we play at like 7 p.m. starts and stuff like that. Yeah. So last thing for you guys, Blake, where'd you put the jerseys? Are they on the chair over there? Okay. So you guys got new jerseys this year. How do you guys feel about those? You like them?
Yes,
I
they're
love
nice.
them personally.
Yeah, now we got multiple options.
Yeah. And I love all blacks. I just feel so much cooler in them.
You can give credit to
camera.
You can give credit to Blake.
Yes.
I believe he designed them.
He did. And then like just a huge spin him around. And just like a huge thank you to the Booster Club who was able to help us fund these uniforms. We couldn't have done it without them, so we're really appreciative for that as well.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think they're better than our baseball ones.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I really like the white one. Looks really cool.
Yeah, I can't wait just to see how they look.
And there's like a lot of combinations we can do because we have white and black pants too, so we can do a lot of different things with it.
Any last thoughts for you guys going into the season? Hopefuls, goals, whatever.
I'm just super excited to get back out there and show people that we didn't lose, or we did lose someone big, but like we're coming back from it, and we'll still be good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it turns out.
Me too.
Yep.
Can I ask a question for Sawyer?
Okay.
All right, really hard question here, Sawyer.
Okay.
What is your mindset like coming into the season?
Well, I'm pretty excited for it, but I don't know. I kind of just hope for the best. I don't know. What do you mean, though?
What have you been working on to get to this point?
I've just been working on getting into like staying in reps with like hitting and stuff, just to keep in the groove. But I don't know. Just don't fall out of it.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Interview routines. There you go. So, anything else? I mean, well, obviously, me and you can carry on the interview. If you guys got stuff to do, you guys can go do that. So,
Thank you guys.
Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure. Alrighty, so now that we're going to start delving into the nitty-gritty of the thing here. So, last year you had a lot of highs, and there's also some disadvantages, some lows as well. I want to start off on a good note here. So, as we were searching up stats before this whole interview, Blake and I found out that, little fun fact, Anna and Taylor both had the same ERA last year. And I thought this was interesting because not only did Anna have a better record and had less innings pitched. I thought a lot of things were going to sway that ERA kind of in different ways, but Anna, you're looking at it, junior, she will be a senior this year. Last year, 12-3 with a 2.06 ERA, a 1.2 whip, 122 strikeouts, and an opponent batting average of 193. Just insane stats right there.
Yeah, she has been working so hard to get to where she's at now, and honestly, no one will ever see how much time she's put into it, just because people show up to games, they watch her pitch, and they go home. But in between that, there are hours of just grinding, working on things. I mean, she has a very good pitch that's very hard to hit, and just working on her craft of that has been fun. I know she really loves to pitch. She committed to, it was Simpson, yep. The Storm, Simpson Storm, right? Yep.
There you go.
And they got a good one, that's for sure. She works extremely hard, and she loves it, and that's what you look for. You look for someone who wants to be around, wants to be there, wants to put in the extra time, and she's a fun player to coach. That's for sure.
My thing is, so you had 2 pitchers last year, Anna and Taylor. It's different from baseball. Baseball, we have like 6 or 7 because, you can only pitch an X amount of pitches, and then you have to wait, 5, 4, 3 days, stuff like that. But Taylor was a freshman last year, going to be a sophomore this year, so another whole year of kind of learning from Anna, getting that experience, a lot of things that she can kind of take from Anna and put into her repertoire.
Yeah.
But her record, 10-5, it's exact same ERA, 2.06, a 1.13 whip, 78 strikeouts, and an opponent batting average of 235. One thing I did notice, she was more of a ground ball, pitcher, tried to pitch for contact, let the defense do the work, while Anna was kind of going for strikeouts, going to get the Ks, stuff like that. So what are some of the differences? What are you kind of picking up from Taylor coming into this year?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stats, like you said, between Anna and Taylor are very similar. And I noticed that, and I thought it was interesting as well. But they are 2 different kind of pitchers. Taylor has a little bit more movement style pitching. She finds the end of the barrel. She finds the inner part of the barrel, gets a lot of weak contact. She keeps her walks low. And she gave up more hits, I think, than Anna did, but she kept her walks down. So when you average that out, it kind of turns into a wash. Whereas, I mean, Anna had a tendency to walk more than Taylor, but she still kept it. I mean, she still was a pretty accurate pitcher at the same rate. To whereas, you're looking at a control difference. Taylor had more control, but Anna had a better strikeout rate. So they definitely differ when it comes to that. But you want your pitchers to be different. You don't want to have, let's just use baseball as an example. You don't want to have an 80-mile-per-hour righty and then go to an 80-mile-per-hour righty. You want speed difference. You want different types of pitches thrown. So I think that works really well to them. I can pitch one of them half a game if I need to and throw another one in there, and they get a different style of pitching.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing that differs from baseball is because, even just which hand the pitcher uses to pitch, that makes so much of a difference too. Because we start looking at splits, and the natural thing is righties hit better when they face lefties, and vice versa. But at the same time, there's also such thing as reverse splits. You hit better against a righty would hit better against a righty.
Yep.
My kind of question is, you have 2 right-handed pitchers, I believe. Mm-hmm. Anna and Taylor are both righties. So, looking into that, are you kind of going to experiment with new pitchers this year? Have you found a lefty yet? Anything?
We don't have any lefties on the pitching staff currently, unfortunately. But, the nice thing about softball is that you can... So, we'll talk about one pitch, the screwball. You don't see a lot of high schoolers throwing screwballs for baseball. But
you don't see a lot of major league pitchers throw screwballs.
And that's the thing is where if you're facing a lefty and you're a righty, you can throw. Some of my pitchers have that in their arsenal to throw that screwball that's breaking away from the lefty. So that's nice, and we have.
It's kind of like a changeup.
Yeah,
almost.
we have, and then the angle of which it comes in, and then it tails away. Mm-hmm. It's just an angle thing where it messes with the hitter, especially when we see lefty slap hitters. The screwball is a great pitch for that. But we have a lot of great pitchers, and we've had a lot of girls working hard in the off season between Anna, Taylor, Sawyer, Emery, Bailey, Kylie. We're ready to go. I think our pitchers are ready, and our girls are just ready to get the season started.
Get the season going, yeah. Speaking of, you brought up slap hitting there. I have that down in my notes. I want to talk about slap hitting a little bit because you don't see that in baseball, like ever.
No.
It's baseball, we call it a bunt.
Yeah.
Manny Hebner is really good at them. But anyways, you have slap hitters. Peyton Curley taught herself how to bat lefty for the sole purpose of slap hitting. You have people like Jalen May, who's kind of a platoon. You can kind of just put her in, slap hit, get on base, steal a couple bases, and go home. But it's kind of like, how do you kind of teach that? How does that kind of work for you guys?
I feel like with everything, it just starts with working on the foundation of it. You have to start with working on the steps. If you don't get if you don't have the steps down, you can't move on to the actual swing part. But I mean, me growing up playing baseball, obviously, and being a baseball coach first, slapping is something that I've had to teach myself how to teach, and how to support them in their processes of becoming a better slapper. And I feel like that's the fun part of coaching, is learning new things so that you can try to help teach new things. They've gotten tremendous amounts of reps in, and that's a lot of it. But just hand-eye coordination is huge. Finding ways to just put the ball in play, and then with slap hitting, there's a slap bunt, there's a slap hit, there's a power slap, there's different things you can do for that, and we have our slappers currently working on new things every day, and just continuing to add to their toolkit. And it's going to be, I think you guys are going to be excited about what you see from them this year. It's going to be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, unfortunately, Riker and I are not going to be able to broadcast any. We're going to be playing baseball this year. We've already started. We're 3-0 in the year. We got a lot of stuff going. But for you guys have had practices for a few weeks now. Anything early, right, kind of before the season, what you've seen in practice? What are you liking from your team as you get gearing up towards the season?
The overlap between track and softball is always so hard because you have, softball season starts, but it's still like in the heart of track season, and getting to the end where we've had a great track program, and we've had girls qualifying every year, and that's great. We are teaching, like, girls are athletes. Our girls are athletes, and they, extra practice is good, and the track girls found time to come in and keep practicing, but the girls that weren't in track or any when their spring commitment ended, they've just been working hard. We've been getting reps in, we've been going through situations, we've been talking about the game, we've been learning. I've been learning. Everyone is getting better every single day, and that's the focus. We're trying to get 1% better each day, learn something new. And even our 8th graders have come a long way in the last couple weeks, and that's just a testament to our coaches, Casey, Tiffany, Nick. We have a great staff here, and we have a lot of people committed to making this a good experience for everyone, and making this. It's going to be a great year, so we're excited for that.
So I got my little note card here that Blake wrote up for me for stats. So I'm looking at it. The first thing when he showed me it, I noticed that pitching-wise, you guys were one of the best pitching staffs in the state. Right. Top 5 in just about everything. In fact, you were top 4 in pretty much everything. You only had 2 categories where you were ranked 4th or lower. And when I look at the hitting, it takes a little bit of a dip, So I wanted to know if you guys are if you thought about that, if you guys are focusing more on getting the hitting numbers up, getting that kind of thing going, because of your pitching was so good. Because I know we talked about it a little before. You guys had a lot of games last year. They were like 3-2 or 5-4, stuff like that, where there wasn't, you had your occasional games. You guys would light up the scoreboard, especially against Denver, the 2 that I did against them. But I want to know what you guys are kind of looking forward to on the hitting side.
Hitting is extremely hard, and what I like to look at is I like to look back 3 or 4 years ago. From that point on, we've gotten better every single year in hitting, and I think that's just a devotion to going back to the basics and focusing on the fundamentals of it, creating those good tendencies and those good habits. Because at the end of the day, you can you can nitpick so much, and sometimes I get caught in that mold of nitpick, but we have to look at it from a point of view of we are getting better and better each year hitting wise. And sometimes it might take a dip, sometimes it might go up, and we might not have been among the state leaders in hitting. And honestly, we have to continue to focus on both. I mean, we can say, oh, we need to be a lot better hitting team, so let's focus all on our hitting and push off pitching and fielding. But pitching and fielding win you games. I think we proved that when we keep the other team score low, we can win those close games. We look back at some of the games we lost and games we probably should have won. And I think it comes down to, hitting-wise, I think it came down to our approach. I think it came down to us being able to make mid-game adjustments. And that's where I have to do better. I have to tell them what I'm seeing, and we just have to be better at adjusting in-game. Because I thought our hitting was pretty solid throughout the year. I mean, we won a lot of tough games. We won a lot of close games. Did we bat 400 as a team? No. Did some teams bat 400 as a team? Yes. But, again, you have to realize that we are a team that has good pitching. So we don't need to hit 400. Would we love to hit 400? Absolutely. But we face a lot of good teams, a lot of good pitchers, and hitting's hard. It's not something that you can just start doing overnight and be good at.
So coming into this year, you guys have a lot of returning starters and players from last year. I believe you have 10 returning starters from last year who at least started a few games for you, and 6 of them are going to be juniors or seniors. So what are you kind of looking? What are you kind of looking at them to kind of lead this team for the next year or two going into the future?
The situation that we're in is extremely great because I feel like we have a great group of older kids who do a really good job with the younger kids, and they keep things positive, they keep the energy up, and it's going to be nice to practice with a full team here soon. But I also think that we have a lot of younger kids who get it, who have just as much passion for softball as the rest of them. And when you're younger, you got to find your voice. You got to find where you stand, find out what the team needs at that point. Because with having so many seniors, so many seniors and juniors, you have a lot of people who can keep that leadership going. And I think the biggest thing is they just need to continue to do what they've been doing. I don't think we need to change anything that way, because I feel like throughout the last few years we've had great senior leadership, and they've passed it down, and those seniors have been great, and then they pass that down. So I think we have a good tradition going. I think it just comes down to the 8th graders and freshmen being willing to learn.
So I have just a few more questions here. Any season goals as you end the year? What are you looking forward to this year? What are you trying to get back to? What's kind of that goal for you for this season?
I think we really need to take it one game at a time. One thought process I had going into this year is that our expectations are going to be higher than ever, and sometimes that's hard to manage. But every year is different. So you have to go into it with that idea that every game is going to be a battle, and you can't look too far ahead. It was amazing to go into that Jessup tournament last year and start with one win, and then we got another, and then another, and then we found ourselves in the championship, and we went out and won that game. And I think that proved. I think we proved to everyone that we could beat anyone. There was high caliber teams there that we knocked off. But this year is a new year. Nothing about last year matters anymore. We can remember the good things. We can remember what we learned. But what happened last year doesn't matter for what this year is going to bring. Because if we try to ride on that idea that we were such a great team last year, that's going to lead to us being content, and we'll drop a lot of games. So we have to focus on one game at a time, and everybody's going to be a challenge, So
you guys have 12 home games this year. We obviously know that Wapsie fans, they travel really well. They go on the road. They travel to those road stadiums really well. But obviously, it's going to be a lot easier for them to, drive 10 miles to their home field. So having that home field advantage and having those fans behind you every step of the way, what does that mean to you and your program?
I guess first, I wanted to bring up the Southwind game last year. I kind of took a second after the game, after we got done shaking hands, and I kind of looked out to the outfield, and I was just in awe with how many people were there, giving their support for these girls who've been working so hard. And we can't thank our fans enough. We can't thank this community enough for their constant support. Their support keeps these girls motivated. It drives them to want to do well for them. And I love our fans' commitment to coming out to see these girls because they deserve it. They deserve to get people supporting them and backing them up. And I know how excited they are. I think the fans are really excited to get things going. I know they're excited to see the lights on. That's for sure. So it's amazing. Like the support, the amount of people we get to come to these games, it's awesome.
Alrighty, so any final thoughts, last things you want for the final, week or half a week yet that you have until the start of the season?
Yeah, I would say come out to our first game on Tuesday and show the girls support. Our first game is
Wednesday.
It's
At
Tuesday.
Home. Well, yeah, at home Wednesday.
We're at home Wednesday, so come out on Wednesday. Come on
Tuesday.
Yeah.
There you go.
But Wednesday's our home opener against AP. Please come out, show your support. The girls will really appreciate it, and I'm just, I'm super excited for this. We start training in the wintertime, and for this very reason, to be ready for these moments. So we're going to create a lot of memories this year. It's going to be exciting.
Alrighty, so that will be all. As we said, the Warriors open their season against West Central at West Central. That is a 4 o'clock start on Tuesday the 21st. It says 4 o'clock on the schedule, Blake. Okay, 5. And then the next night they will be at home for the home opener against Appleton Parkersburg at 5 o'clock. That is another 5 o'clock start. So, appreciate it. Thank you for coming on with me. It was a blast. I had a great time.
We appreciate you doing this for us.
There you go.
Awesome.
So, thank you everybody for listening to our softball preseason or season preview. This episode was produced by the man behind the computer, Blake Buhr. And until next time, go Warriors!